Okay, hi guys. I can't believe we've gone a whole month without talking about the lax ball, which is probably one of the most common mobility tools that we actually have around here in a gym. The lax ball itself is actually pretty hard. There are like a lot of other balls out there that are probably a little bit squishier, like racket balls, tennis balls, but for the purpose of like all the stuff we're doing today, lax ball will be just fine. So what a lax ball is used for is something called self-myofascial release. What basically that means, I'll try to explain it the best I can. I know there's a lot of good Kelly Starrett videos that are out there that also, he talks about this a lot. But basically you're kind of self-massaging yourself. Now our skin basically kind of glides along. It's very happy when it likes to glide along itself. It's very like slippery. And basically what happens is after you lift weights or work out, and let's do a lot of strength training or lifting, your muscles develop little micro tears over time. And these tears they're a good thing because they eventually build up so that you get stronger, build more muscle. But sometimes when the micro tears that happen in your muscles don't quite heal up correctly, they develop these scar tissues that start to get really sticky and start to make parts of your skin that were kind of moving very loose before a little bit tighter and stickier. So that's why you'll see sometimes you have your muscles start feeling a lot tighter. It's those sticky moments where like that scar tissue is developing and it's causing your skin not to be able to slide around as easily. So that's what the lax ball is taking care of, is it's getting into those areas of that scar tissue, breaking those up a little bit so that the skin can slide around a little bit easier so you feel a little bit less tighter. So I want to show a couple of different moves today that we can do with the lax ball. First one is going to be focusing on this area right back here in the lower back with a muscle called the QL. And so there's a lot of muscles that work all along the hips, so as QL, for example. And this muscle runs along from the quads and does come up to the upper back right here, or sorry, lower back. And sometimes these like sausage links, as we'll call them, they get really tight. A lot of the times, if you have tight hips, usually that will sometimes lead to kind of a tight lower back or doing a lot of things that involve a lot of lumbar, for example. So we'll use the lax ball, and also it helps to have something to prop your legs up onto as well. You don't have to have anything here, but if you have a box nearby, this is great. So what we'll do is we're going to aim at placing the lax ball kind of on the outside of that sausage link that you see right there, and elevate our legs. And now the best way to kind of work into it, so you never want to put the lax ball directly anywhere on the spine. That's just, you know, a horrible thing to do. But we're working kind of in the side area. And what we're going to do is a contract and relax exercise, where you are going to, for about 5 seconds, you're going to squeeze the area and contract it, kind of like flex that back muscle as best as you can. Breathe in. And then you're going to breathe out, relax, and just let that area kind of meld and sink over that ball. Just kind of let it go, let it loose, and kind of roll around and dig into that side. And it helps again to have your legs elevated so you can really get that body weight into there. And relax for about 10 seconds. So you're going to breathe in, contract, flex the area, squeeze the area for about 5 seconds, and then relax. Let your body, let your skin just kind of sink over it, let that muscle just kind of plop and meld itself all over that ball, roll it around, and do this for about 2 minutes, okay? So again, it takes about usually 2 minutes of mobility work in any area to really feel or hopefully see some change in that area. That's usually what the minimum recommended amount is, 2 minutes. So about 2 minutes kind of on either side of the back. So again, we're contracting for 5 seconds, breathe in. Squeeze that area tight, and then relax for 10. And it's this contracting and relaxing it's kind of what helps to get that muscle kind of relaxed over time, especially if it's really tight. Lax ball is really good for digging in there. So again, 2 minutes on both sides of this area, right on the lower sides of the back, and that will be really awesome. Next, we'll just talk about the standard placing it along the upper back of the scapula and doing arm raises. So the thing with the arm raises is that we're working towards good overhead mobility, meaning our elbows are locked out, heads through the window, and our upper back is not compensating because of that. So when we're doing the shoulder raises overhead with the lax ball in the back, we want to keep mindful of a couple things. First of all, keeping the arms straight and elbows straight as best as you can as going overhead, okay? So, I mean, if you're down here and you're finding that you're only getting to here because you can't
but not bend your elbow, that's saying that you definitely need to work on that area. So you want to keep the elbow straight and locked out as if you were going overhead. Second of all is you want to prime your arm into this external rotation. So when you're overhead, you have your your elbows forward, armpits forward. So we want to make sure that when we raise our arm overhead, we take our thumb and we rotate it and turn it upwards. Okay, so the arm just doesn't kind of just flap around there, but you want to make sure that we're biasing that whatever we're doing to our back is going to help us get better into that external rotation. So that's why we turn the thumb outwards, keep the elbow straight, and then we're focusing on either side of the spine, on the upper back. So we're going to place it right on under that area. Raise the hips, so raising the hips again puts more body weight into that area, and then thinking about just going overhead, like you're doing any kind of, let's say, kettlebell swing or whatnot. So elbow straight, take the thumb, rotate it outwards. And it's good to get about 10 raises in one area, and then you want to work to, again, a different area. And really work towards getting your hand to touch the ground, but big important thing is just keep the elbow straight, because if you bend it, you're not going to get as much of a benefit as you would. It's not going to help you as much with the overhead position. So really make sure that you keep that elbow bent. I also like to kind of go side to side a little bit more. That feels really good. This is really good after doing a lot of cleans or anything that involves a lot of pulling with the upper back. So again, 2 minutes on each side is recommended to feel or see some change. I always like to do actually one side after a couple minutes and then just kind of get up, raise my arms, and see totally what the difference is. It makes a huge difference there. Another key area that we can also pay attention to as well is right below the armpit here. Now be careful, because there is a space down here that has a lot of nerves in it. So if you feel anything that's always stingingly painful, get away from that. But if you feel areas that are just sore and knotted, that's kind of what you want to aim for there. So right under the armpit, again, taking the hand, externally rotating, keeping the elbow straight. And this is a really good one for just rolling around back and forth, similar to what you would do on a foam roller, and then getting all the way down, down to your sides. So just really getting a good, nice lats area is really great here. You can also take this to the side of the hip as well, so right in kind of this nice little groove that you'd find on the side of your hip, and roll it around as well. You can also contract and relax in this area, so you would squeeze, tighten everything, and then kind of just let everything meld and relax over that ball. You can take it to the glutes, so you can cross one leg over, contract everything, and relax and let it meld, let it roll around, contract, squeeze that glute, let it relax, roll around. So there's a lot of different areas that you can attack again with the lax ball. You can do tops of knees, quads. I think I had talked about that in an earlier video, where if you want to get the area above the knees, sometimes that area is really tight, and it could also prevent you from getting down at the bottom of the squat. Triceps, really, really great tool to use. So hopefully this will give you a better understanding of how we can use the lax ball, what it's for, and then just a couple techniques and things that you can try with the lax ball.